Greetings and welcome to Old Drunken Discography, where old friends and fans come together to BS, argue, occasionally agree, and discuss a musical artist. I'm your host, Jason. Your other host is Tim
That's me.
and Bill.
If I were you, that's about it.
And today we're talking about, and this is 2024, we're talking about Deep Purple. I guess an equals one is the name of the record.
It looks like equals
Yes.
one. Yeah.
This is a
That's
brand
what I
new
got.
release. Um, so yeah, Deep Purple. Be sure you like, subscribe, and check out equals one. Who wants to start us off on this one? Tim, you probably know the most about Deep Purple. Me, myself, I
Yeah, I'll
know.
start us off. I mean,
This is the only Deep Purple I
yeah,
know.
right off. Okay. I mean, that's a big one. Um, yeah, so like you said, it's 2024, and this is a first wave British invasion band going all the way back to the 60s. Um, so it's kind of funny to me. I was listening to this album and like, okay, so what are we gonna like compare this to? Like the Rolling Stones are the only other group from that era still putting out quality music, music at all, even really, let alone quality. So okay, so they're not completely unknown there, you know. And then Deep Purple's also part of like the '70s trilogy of hard rockers that really like heavy metal came out of, along with Black Sabbath and Led Zeppelin. And here we are again. Like we're neither of those bands are active anymore, but Deep Purple's still going. Ian Gillan is going to turn 79. Like yeah, I don't know, in like a month. Um, these guys are pushing 80 years old. And so just the fact that they're putting out new music is pretty awesome. And then when they put out something this good, it's pretty inspiring. I wasn't shocked. They've actually had a bit of a career renaissance here in the last 10 years. They've put out like 6 albums
Yeah, they
and they've all been really good. Um, but this one really grabbed me. I think that this is might be the best one they've done. God, I don't know, since Perfect Strangers or something, which was 40 years ago. um, yeah, I like so this again 60 years into a career. This is the first album with a brand new guitar player, and I think obviously nobody's gonna compare to Richie Blackmore, but he hasn't been in the band for a long time, and I think that this new guy that they brought in is like the riffs on here are great, the tone is great, the solos are great. I was really impressed with the guitar playing on here, and that kind of leads into the rhythm section, which are like Ian Pace is the original drummer. He's the only member who's been there since the beginning at this point. Of course, Roger Glover and Ian Gillan came in tail end of the 60s, early 70s. They've been there a while. Um, and then Don Airey's been in the band for about 20 years now after John Lord retired before he passed. So, in a way, you kind of get two people who were in Black Sabbath on this album, which is kind of cool. Ian Gillan, of course, did an album with them, and Don Airey did some studio work and also was like in Ozzy solo band. Um, yeah, I don't know, man. Like this thing just came out swinging. Show Me was great. Bit on the Side was great. Sharpshooter was great. Portable Door was the first single, and I think, or was it Pictures of You? Now I can't remember. But either way, it's great. Um, Old Fangled Thing might be my favorite song on the album. Um, like that thing was just awesome. And then if I were you, it's kind of like the slow ballady, just mid-paced rocker. It's good, but it's probably my low point of the album. Pictures of You is good. I'm saying Nothing is good. Lazy Sod is fantastic. That's just a really good song. Now You're Talking, No Money to Burn. Like these things are just cranking along. Like great stuff going on here. I'll Catch You is great, and then Bleeding Oblivion. Like I thought that one was really good too. Like not just as a closer, but just as a great song. Um, yeah, like the new Guitar Blood really feels to me like it's like the rhythm section's having fun again. And I mean, they've been doing this for over 60 years. They're gonna be solid, and you can hear it. Sounds like they could do this stuff in their sleep. Um,
Now, I haven't followed them throughout their entire career, but
oh, neither have I. Clearly, but
it's a
um,
huge discography. But this
yeah.
album was very comforting. Like it was, like it sounded like it could have been in the 70s, and it's fucking heavy. There's some
Yeah.
heavy shit on here that,
Yeah.
like, Sharpshooter has some fucking heavy parts on it that you wouldn't think some 80-year-olds could do, but their
Well, and that's the
keyboardist.
thing. It sounds kind of 70s, but it also sounds kind of 80s. It also sounds kind of modern. Like you think about it, like being a first wave, like contemporary to the Beatles, they've seen every iteration of rock.
And they're still just fucking doing what they do. Like, Lazy Sod is
Doing it well.
definitely
Doing
that.
it really well.
Some of my favorite lyrics from the album is on Lazy Sod. That shit's good. I'll Catch You. That super fucking pretty. That's a really good one.
Hmm.
Pictures of You. It's a. I liked it. I enjoyed it. I mean, it made me. If I would have had a lava lamp, I could have just zoned out on this motherfucker. Like, it takes you on a journey.
Hmm. Yeah, it's I'm gonna definitely be spending a lot more time with this album. It's there's a lot to unpack here, and they're just doing it so well. It's hard to put this to the side.
I did not expect to be talking about Deep Purple in 2024, but here we are. Like,
No, but
it's it's
here we
fucking
are, and they deliver.
yeah.
They deliver.
It's kind of interesting because, like, last year the Rolling Stones put out Hackney Diamonds, and you couldn't turn anywhere without knowing that the Rolling Stones were going to put out Hackney Diamonds. I mean, it was everywhere. It was a big
Hmm.
fucking deal. But you didn't really hear much about
Hmm.
Deep Purple. Like,
No,
it's
which
it's
is weird
weird. It's
because
so weird.
obviously they've been in. Yeah, I mean they're monoliths of rock. They're a band everybody should be following,
Yeah.
and to your point again, like yeah, Hackney Diamonds was advertised everywhere, but it's not as good as this. Like it's a good album,
I don't know.
but
I
I
don't know.
think this is where that one felt like safer and
Yeah, it's definitely a
more
safe
like in
record.
their comfort zone. This one really does. This feels like while it feels like the 70s and it sounds like classic Deep Purple, you can hear they're trying to do new stuff
Yeah,
still.
there's some new shit here.
Yeah, and Ian Gillan. I mean, for almost 80 years old, like no, is any of this child in time? No, but he still sounds amazing.
Oh yeah, they all sound their keyboard is fucking insane, insane.
Bill,
Yeah, so
hated
lot
it.
no, 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 no. I mean, most of this. synopsis of all my notes. Sounds like a lot of classic rock coming out of the 70s and 80s. I thought it was a solid opener and a pretty decent closer.
Yeah.
Personally, I was more a fan of I'll Catch You over Bleeding Oblivious. That's probably personal taste on that. Um, Actually, though, considering all these guys, what the youngest members maybe 50 at this point, maybe as the
At
youngest,
45, the new guitar player is 45.
but case in point still stands. Like
Yeah.
they're rocking pretty good on this album.
Yeah. I do agree with you. I think I'll Catch You would have made a damn good closer. Like, I think that
But
should have been the closer.
I mean, my notes. I thought that was the closer when I was writing. I'm like, beautiful closer. I thought it was a fantastic end to the album, and then it got to Bleeding Oblivious. I'm like, oh, never mind. I'll Catch You was not the closer. Scratch out all that shit.
But Bleeding fucking rocks, though. Like,
Yeah, it's a strong
It's a good closer. I I thought I'll Catch You just with the tempo and everything else would have been a better closer, but that's personal.
I could see that though. I could see that.
I can also see them being at the point though, like, after 10 songs, and they're like, damn, we've got like a bunch of really good stuff here. Let's just throw it all on.
It is on the long side, but
Yeah.
it doesn't really falter anywhere. It doesn't really. There's no part of the album where you're not paying attention. Like it's very. It flows. It has a flow to it. Like I said, man, if I had a lava lamp, I would have been chilling.
Yeah, I'm really enjoying this album. I expect that it'll place pretty high on my year-end list. I'm shocked by just how much I'm enjoying this.
It's gonna be an interesting end of the year.
Yeah. Yeah, always.
We got quite an eclectic group of albums here. If you can see here, we're gonna cover this X album here soon. We get
their final
record and get Bill into some X.
Yeah,
it'll be interesting. But yeah, man, this Deep Purple is not a bad record at all. It's not a bad record. It's a
solid album for considering the band's been around for the last 60 years.
That's crazy. It's crazy how good this record is. It has no right to be this good. But it's fucking good.
And yet it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought Old Fangled Thing was just rad. Like, that was just a great song. Lots of cool riffs, lots of cool, like, rhythmic changes. And the thing about this album, too, it's like, yeah, they're doing all kinds of really cool instrumental stuff, but none of these songs venture too far outside of feeling like a song.
Right, yeah, it doesn't get... Yeah, it doesn't go into like Grateful Dead territory.
Yeah, you're not bullshit. Like wheedly-deedling for 20 minutes out in left field and then coming back or anything. No, everything here feels like it belongs.
You might get a long-ass keyboard solo, but it's worth it. It's worth it.
Right.
And it does come back around to where it feels like a song.
Keyboard and guitar play, like the two of them going back and forth throughout this whole thing is pretty awesome.
And like I said, I haven't heard a Deep Purple record since the 70s, so I don't know where this would rank in their discography, if it's better than what they've done in the last 20 years or not. I don't know, but I know this is a pretty fucking tight record.
Yeah, I haven't heard everything they've been putting out, but like the last 10 years or so, I've checked out a couple of them, and they've all been really good.
Maybe Deep Purple,
better than they should be. So,
let us know down below if you want us to cover the Deep Purple discography, because we'll do it. We got nothing else to do. it saves us from listening to 3 Days Grace.
Not my
Cake.
fault.
Shout out to our Patreon members for giving us some bands that are going to suck, but we're going to do them.
Yep. Yeah. No, I am. I'm. By the end of this album, after the first time listening to it, I was just like running around the room in a circle, just like amped. I was like, geez, this is really good.
Now You're Talking's really fucking good.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very solid album.
It's solid. Not the best album cover, but it also kind of works. I like the simplicity of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Anybody else got anything to add about Equals One? If you haven't heard it yet, go check that shit out.
Yeah, just check it out. If you like any form of rock and roll, you're gonna like it.
Yeah. There's something there for you.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
All right. Well, stick around. We're probably knee deep into our Ghost discography review. So, sort us by playlist. Check out our Ghost reviews. And if you like Deep Purple, we got Aerosmith coming up. We've done The Who. Go check out our Who review.
Mm-hmm.
And we're gonna hit some more 70s bands.
We've done Zeppelin.
We've done Zeppelin. We might redo Zeppelin with a new format though, because we missed some notable releases on that.
New cast too.
Yep. And we got the Ramones coming up, so stick around for that. Yeah, check out the links below. Hit us up on Facebook, especially if you're one of those old boomers. We're on Facebook. And if you're one of those young, cool kids, hit us up on Discord. Yeah, let us know. When did you first hear Deep Purple? All right. As always, be safe and make good decisions.
Oceans are rising, and I can't do a thing about that.